What's up guys, Coach John here, and in this episode of Kickboxing Foundations, I want to go over throwing our lead hook. For me, it's my left. So just like before with the jab and the cross, there's many different ways to throw the hook and many different reasons to change up our fundamentals. While we're learning it though, we want to follow some very simple rules. Okay, rule number one, when we throw the hook, I want to make sure that I have support behind the hook. The hook is the first punch that we're bringing to the side of someone's face. The jab and the cross came straight forward, typically aiming to the front of the face. The hook is going to hit the side. Now, how we do this is as we turn our shoulders and generate torque on this hook, we need to make sure that elbow is behind the point of impact. All right? I don't want to see that elbow below the point of impact. There's no support behind it. I want to make sure it's behind and we're hitting. Depending on your range, okay, the hook is going to be what I call a mid-range punch. I want to be at 90 degrees with my elbow. 90-degree angle when you hit, and I want my arm perpendicular to the floor. When we throw the hook, there's a couple ways to throw it, and I've learned from different coaches different ways. The first way is going to be coffee mug, and that's where as I turn to hit, I turn my hand palm in, like I'm holding a coffee mug, okay, from here. So I want to hit, and I want to bring it right back in a straight line. I don't need to reverse engineer the hook to bring it back. I hit, I come back, okay, protecting my body, protecting my face. The other way to throw it is going to be an overhand hook, and that's where when I hit, still aiming with the same two knuckles, my palm is facing the floor, okay? Much like when I land my jab and my cross, I'm landing with my palm facing the floor. Now, find what's comfortable for you. I like the closer I am, the tighter, the more proper the hook. Coffee mug. I also throw long hooks. When the longer I am, I like to turn overhand. I just find that the wrist support I get from throwing the hook that way is better for me. I've learned from high-level coaches that say only do it this way, they hate this way. They give me 100 reasons why this is wrong and 100 of reasons why this is right. I've also trained with other high-level coaches at the opposite end of the sport that tell me this is wrong, 100 reasons why, and this is right, and they give me reasons why. So as a coach, I try to take in everything and use what works for me, and I want you to do the same. So whatever's comfortable. Now, when we throw this hook, for kickboxing specifically, we want to torque, we want to turn, we want to pivot. We don't want to pivot on our front foot when we throw the hook in kickboxing. I know there's some boxers that love to pivot on that front foot, but I also know boxers that don't. The reason we don't want to in kickboxing, remember, we want reasons to do what we do. The reasons I don't want to turn on that front foot to generate power and torque on that hook is because it exposes me to leg kicks. We're going to be getting to leg kicks soon in the series, but right now, when I'm turned here, I cannot defend a leg kick and it leaves me very vulnerable. So, how are we going to turn our hips when we're throwing this hook without turning that foot? We're going to pivot on our back foot. It's going to seem awkward and weird at first, but it's going to be effective. So as I'm here, as I go to throw this hook, instead of turning on my front foot, which feels natural, I'm going to turn my hips with my back. Now, I'm going to exaggerate a little bit, but that's my goal. I'm turning with that rear foot as I land this hook. No matter which way you throw the hook, I want to get my hips into it. Now, we don't want to load up with the hook. And what I mean by that is we want to, it feels like a very powerful punch, and it is. And when we throw it from a lead position, it's going to feel weak. But if you torque your hips right, pivot correctly, turn your shoulders, you're going to get power. Another way to get a lot of power on the hook is to turn your rear shoulder, your right shoulder in first, twisting my hips the opposite way and coming back. That's going to generate a lot of power. So that's why the hook's such an awesome punch to throw after we throw that straight cross. If I throw a cross and pivot and turn properly, it sets up the hook really nice. We don't want to bring the hook out and down before we throw it, okay? I don't want to expose myself and open up and make a big motion. That's what's going to feel natural at first, but you want to get in the habit of keeping this right by your face and being able to throw it short and fast, boom, and come right back. Short and fast. The faster and shorter you can make your punches, the more powerful they're going to be, but you stay protected, and that's the goal. So when I'm throwing the lead hook here, I'm gonna keep it short and tight. I'm gonna turn and come back. The power is going to come from repetition and training. So the hook is the third punch in our combination that we're going to be throwing moving forward. We have the jab, we have the cross, and now we have the hook. The main thing I want you guys to take away from throwing this hook is making sure that we throw it tight and compact and we rotate properly. The hook is going to be the first punch because it's the third one in our basic combination that we're going to be throwing, where we're going to start making a lot of mistakes. Dropping our hands, not bringing them back properly, getting out of line with our footwork. So I want to make sure we just nail down the basics, make sure we stay well balanced, and we're throwing it properly so that as we learn and as we advance, we can stay safe as we throw.